Hi everybody, it's Julia, your trusted travel expert from Matheson Travel, coming to you this week with lots of information about Abercrombie & Kent. And if you follow me on Facebook and stuff, you know that I met with them last week at my host agency conference, which I told you a little bit about, and loved them. And it's not that I didn't know about them from before, I did. Obviously, they're sort of one of the big names in the industry, one of the globally best tour operators, something like 11 years running. And but they're also very highly noted for luxury. And so I even told them, like, I'm intimidated to even sell A&K or even like aspire to going on A&K. And I happily learned that that is not the case. And so I wanted to give you some of the details because I've really gone deep in the nitty-gritty. So the first thing to know about A&K and how it's not, you know, pie in the sky out of reach for you is that they do like half of their business is custom individual trips. So regular trips that you and your family want to do anywhere in the world, because guess what? They have 52 offices all over the world. So they have actual staff in 52 different countries, which covers more than that because, you know, like if they have an office in Bangkok, that covers a lot of Southeast Asia, for example. So you can pretty much do a custom trip built to your specifications anywhere you want in the world. But they also have a brand called Connections, small group journeys, and that's sort of their entry-level price point. I mean, they also have the crazy, amazing private jet around the world trips, of course, like that. But they also have these boutique Connections journeys, which are maximum 24 guests, so they're already small groups no matter what. And so I really wanted to know, like, are they really actually affordable or do they just sound affordable? So I went and I looked, and I'm actually going to refer to notes a little bit because I want to make sure I give you the right example. So the first trip that caught my eye was Croatia, seeing as how I've just come back from Croatia and I've been talking about it all week. And so I wanted to compare it. So I took a look at their trip, which is kind of a basic trip. It covers the basics. It's not in depth. It's 9 days. And they cover about half of your meals, all your breakfast, and then like some of your lunches, some of your dinners. So you have enough free time to experience on yourself. And it does go to Plitvice Lakes, which is very important to me. And it's about $4,000, give or take, per person for those 9 days. Now, I looked at Talc, and you know I love Talc. I'm a big Talc fan. I've been on a lot of Talc trips. So that's obviously the next luxury tour operator I checked just to see how it goes. And they didn't exactly have an exact trip, an exact match. Their trip's a little bit longer, a little bit more detailed, a little bit closer actually to the itinerary I took. So it's still a great trip. But two things that make it, besides the fact that it's 13 days. So it's really a 2-week trip instead of A&K's is only 9 days. Covers about the same kind of meals. They have the same philosophy on meals. All your breakfasts is about half your lunches and dinners. But Talc, this particular trip is not a small group trip. It's a full bus. So it's going to be 30 or 40, well, maximum 40. So more like 30, 35 people. And it is actually $7,000. So it's a little bit longer, but you can see it's actually quite a bit more expensive than A&K's a little bit more compact basics Croatia trip. So then I just thought I'd throw in a third one for comparison. And that's another supplier I met last week, and that's Insight Vacations, and they have a luxury gold product, which is the same sort of high-end, kind of more all-inclusive, more luxury products where you stay at nice hotels and eat at Michelin-starred dining and stuff like that. And they actually didn't even have a comparable product for Croatia. So I thought maybe Croatia is a little too exotic, which it's not, but so I wanted to look at somewhere I really know as well, which is France, obviously. And so, again, sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to give you wrong information. So all three companies had sort of a similar, 12-day trip through France, starting in Paris and going around and seeing, Chateau in the Loire Valley and stuff like that. And, more or less had the same meals, but Insight Gold only included 6 dinners, no lunches. So that's a little less inclusive than the others. And again, Insight has a full bus tour. So their 12-day France tour was around $5,000, a little more than $5,000, depending on the date. Talc's trip was very similar itinerary. Full bus was a little bit more expensive at like $6,400, but that particular departure is so popular that Talc also has small groups that go for that. So the small group is a little bit more expensive. It's maximum 24 passengers, kind of like A&K's, and it's $7,000. But Talc does include a few more meals than Insight Gold just to let you know that. But so then I looked at A&K's trip, and it is a little bit shorter. It's not quite 12, I think it's more like 10 days. And it is actually quite a bit different. It goes, instead of going over to like Normandy and Brittany and sort of the basics first time France, it sort of goes the other way towards Burgundy, like the wine region, Champagne, Burgundy, and finishes in the Loire before heading back up to Paris. So still a loop of France, still the same good meal coverage, still only 24 passengers, and it is also right at $7,000. So pretty much the same price as the Talc trip, which the Talc trip's a little bit longer, but a little bit more basic. So again, right in there. But then let's look at one more example. Italy, Tuscany and Umbria. You know, Italy is so well saturated. There are so many trips. Talc itself has something like, I don't even remember, 15, 20, 30 trips through Italy. You know, Italy is just so well saturated, and so you really have to compare apples to apples. So I really did my best. All three of these people have different kinds of trips to Italy, but these are, again, basically a week in Tuscany and Umbria. You know, probably starting in Rome, ending in Florence, something like that, all with different variations. And so a week with Talc, full bus trip is $4,600, give or take. I mean, depending on the date, there's a little variation. Italy, oh, sorry, I didn't write down Insights. I'm so sorry, I forgot Insights, but A&K's price is right at the same as Talc, a little bit more. It's about $5,000 to $6,000 depending on the dates, and when you go. The dates are really important, obviously, as to the price of the trip. But so I just wanted to kind of give you some examples to show you that A&K is an option, especially if you're already looking at a luxury tour, you know, a higher end tour. You really want to give A&K a shot. You know, and that's actually another thing of where I can help you out. You know, let me be what we learned last week, a value interpreter. You know, I was able to look at, you know, these trips of all of these companies, and then another like more budget oriented company that I didn't want to talk about because I could tell their trips just weren't going to be as pleasant. The A&K trips, the Talc trips, the Luxury Gold, I'm able to tell based on what you like to do and your interests, I'm able to tell that like that itinerary is going to be better for you than another one. So, you know, if A&K is similarly priced to Talc, maybe the A&K is more to your interest, or maybe not. Maybe A&K is going to be not really what you're looking for. You're going to want something more like what Talc does. It's just, the point is that A&K is an option for you, and it's definitely something that you want to consider. What I also sort of thought about, I'll mention another company I really love, which is G Adventures. A&K, I learned, is really sort of like G Adventures for grown-ups. You know, if you're done schlepping your bags, you want the what do they call them, a traveling valet. I think they have a copyrighted term for something, but they have a valet that travels with you who takes care of your bags, so you don't have to worry about it. But like G Adventures, they also give back to the countries. You know, like I said, they have offices in 52 different places or something like that in the world, and they do philanthropy projects in almost all of those countries, something like 30 or 40 countries that they do projects where they give back, and where you as a traveler can go learn about what's needed in that country and what A&K is doing to help it. So, you know, if you are looking for unexpected touches of luxury, which I just love, I urge you to give A&K, Abercrombie and Kent, a look, because they really are an actual option that actual real mortals like us can take. So that's it for this week, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.